Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is November 17th, 2020, and the news are brought to you this week by Catlabs of JP, which is a store based in Boston, USA, but ships internationally. They actually just shipped me something today, which I can't mention yet. And it took 24 hours pretty much from their door to my door, which is impressive in Spain. They also have an Instagram account. They would be very happy if you go follow me too. So go ahead and follow them. So let's start with the biggest news of them all this week. Not actually, probably last week. On Saturday, this channel turned 5 years old. So I want to appreciate everybody that supported the channel, watches it, clicks like or dislike, that leaves a comment, that has a Patreon or a sponsor or anything that's happened throughout these 5 years. It's been really crazy and really cool having this window to the world in the film photography, community. And honestly, I never, ever expected it to become what it is becoming, and it will keep on being for me. And I hope for you guys. So I'll be making a little special video about the 5 years that I'll be posting probably soon. But yeah, thank you guys, 5 years, and let's hope for 5 more of Nico's Photography Show. And yeah, let's get into the actual real news. Oh, actually, last week I mentioned there was a 110 reel for Jobo made on 3D printed machines. Catlabs actually wrote me and told me they modify an original Jobo reel to use 110 film. 110 film, remember, 16mm film, like the cinematography. So not exactly, I think, the same film, but same height. So yeah. Catlabs makes a 110 reel that's modded from original Jobo reel if you don't like 3D printed stuff. Then probably the most interesting news this week. This is coming from Italy, and someone wrote me to the email, which I really appreciate you guys do that, and told me about this machine called Dev.A, and it's spelled Dev as developer and A.A. I'll put the link below. It's a fully automatic developing machine. So, and I'm going to make comparisons because there's, no previous product from them. There's a brand called Adele, which is Italian, and they're making a fully automatic processing machine. So this is one enclosure machine which you plug water and you have your little bottles of chemistry, and it will pump them into a tank, and I don't know how it does the rotation, if it's either rotates inside or bubbles or whatever it does, and then it takes the chemistry out into a different tank or maybe the same tank, so you can keep on developing. But it can do 35, 120 and sheet film, 4x5 and 8x10. It's extremely exciting. I really think in today's world we need a fully automated machine that can be, consumer or prosumer based. There's no more information. There's only a website, a subscription list, which I'm already subscribed, as you guys could imagine, and an Instagram account, which I think at the moment has like 2 followers. One's me and the other one's the person that wrote me. So go ahead and follow it. But very exciting, and especially coming from a brand that seems to be already making products. So nothing against Kickstarters, makers, and doers. I love that stuff. But when a brand comes out with something, usually they have a lot more experience in bringing products to the market, even if it's not the same market. So they seem to be quite good at making, I think, ticket machines. So seems like out of my I can't say it. You know what I mean? The whole shebang of the machine looks like it probably will work pretty good. I'm very excited to see it, and maybe, hopefully, they'll be willing to send me one to try out for you guys. Then someone else wrote me about a Capture One, I want to say plugin. I'm not sure about Capture One is plugins or programs or add-ons or something, which is a software to invert your color negative film or your scans, or that you digitize with a digital camera. I've also heard that Capture One has its own software. Not 100% on that. Check the comments below. Probably someone will correct me, which happens a lot, which is probably the best feature of YouTube, is people correct me on the comments. I love that, guys. So it's called Analogue Toolbox. So I'll leave the link below. You can go check it out if you're a Capture One user yourself. Maybe you didn't like the subscription model from Adobe, and you are using Capture One. Then, a fellow YouTuber, Eric, from Doing Film Things, has released the RA4 course on printing color negative pictures onto paper in the darkroom. There's not a lot of information about this. I made a couple videos on it, very vague videos. So I'm excited to see this. We need more people printing color negs onto paper. It's such a magic experience. And what I like about what Eric has done, it's basically a do it in your bathroom kind of video. It's not like using any Jobo like super machine or automatic thing, or what is it called, those machines that, you know, color RA4 Calenta machine or whatever. It's like he rotates by hand. So I really like this. It's not very expensive, so I highly recommend you go check it out, see if you like it, and if you do, purchase it. Not expensive. I think it's like 20 bucks. Then there's a Leica grip. This I've mentioned, I think, in the news before, but now it's actually a real product. So this man behind Kamerakraft has made a Leica grip. And what's cool about this Leica grip is that it looks really, really high quality product. He's made it out of like aluminum and has a little grip. You can choose between wood or metal, like the hand rest. And then the bottom of the plate is Arca-Swiss plate. So you can just Arca-Swiss mount your Leica, which I never put a Leica on a tripod, just me. But if you do, this cool, the implementation of a design. Very nicely designed. It's 200 bucks, so not cheap at all, but it does look like a great product if you are willing to spend that kind of money. Then we have also pretty good big news this week, Negative Supply motor drive. So Negative Supply has been hinting about what drives them and little videos and stuff, and they finally have released what they have called the 35MD, which I'm guessing is motor drive. And it's a full system. It doesn't have automatic edge detection yet, but they said it's upgradable through USB-C. So it could come later down the road. So what it is a Negative Supply holder with a little motor on the side and a little control panel. And the control panel has 3 buttons, which are like MX Cherry, something like that. So they sound like that kind of keyboard, like I have the old Mac here. And they are very tactile, and it has a little knob that lets you fine adjust the first frame. So then when you go frame to frame to frame, it's like a one frame that has a frame back. And then there's a third button, which is the capture. So it works through USB-C or 2.5 millimeter jack. So your digital camera will capture the image when you're scanning. As I said, not edge detection. It's very silent. So you just kind of like go 1, 2, 3 and click. And if you have a previous, this comes out at $579, the whole system. So the holder and the motor and the little control device. But if you have a previous generation normal holder like I do, you can buy the motor and the control little 3 buttons with the knob. And that goes at $299. So you can make your previously bought device into a scanning little rig. Also, if you don't like the idea of using the motor, maybe you like advancing by hand, you'd shoot different formats that are smaller, maybe half frame or expand frames or whatever like that, and you like every time you advance, instead of doing the 8 sprockets, you need to do less, maybe 4 sprockets or maybe more sprockets because of the size of the frame. You can buy the shutter button. So you advance with your hand and it comes with like a Cherry MX and you just click and that will capture on your digital camera. I use Lightroom and I use the in computer kind of like shutter button, which is pretty cool, but you could use that too. It's 49 bucks just for the shutter button, which I really want to test first, and then would love to test the motor add-on, but I would love to test the simple. Then they've also come out with a lens hood sort of thing. So when you're digitizing your film with a digital camera, any light that's around you will go onto the film and reflect and give you weird looking scans. So they made a hood so you can actually kind of like make it as dark inside the where you're capturing. This is basically the equivalent of a toilet paper roll made nicely. Some people do toilet paper roll cardboard just to keep it dark. Some people turn off all the lights, whatever you need. Now you can buy it if you feel like buying the one from Negative Supply. Probably is, the whole ecosystem works great. Then we have news from Graflex Parts. Graflex Parts is a business that's making little parts for old Graflex cameras, all kinds of parts. And one of the cool things they're doing is they're doing the rangefinder cams. As you know, a lot of the Graflex cameras are meant to be used handheld, is how they were used back in the day by the press. Those movies with a big flash that would pop and like fire would illuminate the whole scene. The problem is those cams usually are either lost or maybe not even made because people have put like a lens that wasn't meant to be put on it. Like for example, the Aero Ectar 178 millimeters or 179 millimeters lens with an aperture of 2.5. Well, he's making rangefinder cams. So he's making a bunch of them. I'm putting them on the screen. But the most typical lenses that are being used like that are made by him. And if not, you can probably contact him and he can make you a custom one. So this makes you use your Graflex camera by hand. Okay, guys? Like a huge rangefinder, a 4x5 rangefinder. I think it's really cool. Also, if you have any problems with Graflex cameras or you bought some busted Graflex and you want to refurbish it, you can send it to him. That's pretty cool that he's doing that. Then we have FilmLab iOS version 1.6. As I mentioned, FilmLab app had done the update for the desktop. Looks like it's coming out for iOS devices and has the new color engine and, fixes some bugs and so on. So if you like scanning or you like proof, seeing your negs with your phone, now you have the new version of FilmLab on iOS devices. So iPhone, iPads, I guess. Then the Chroma 679 little medium format camera system that I mentioned last week, which was hinted, is finally out. And it's modular to the point where I can't give you guys a price because there's like different parts that you need depending if you're using a Hasselblad back or a Mamiya back and a front with a helicoid or a front with a large format lens and so on and so on. So you can go check it out. Prices are not too high. I think you can make a whole camera around 150 to 200 bucks. Correct me if I'm wrong. And one thing that I was very curious is he presented one that was like a mini Hasselblad super wide. The thing is, for Hasselblads, the super wide advances to the next frame. On this version, of course, there's no hand crank. So what you have to buy or use is the older 12 backs, so not the A12 or A24s, but the ones that are called C12 or C24, which have the little peepholes so you can advance frame by frame and see the numbers. A minor annoyance, but it's pretty cool. Compared to the Hasselblad super wide prices, it's probably worth it to check the little window. Then someone wrote me about a YouTube channel I should mention, and I've mentioned this channel before on the news, and I think it's still very worth plugging. It's Timothy Hall. He's a large format expert, a darkroom expert. He's done a lot of very good in-depth videos on how to print, how to develop. He even develops by hand without a reel. And I highly suggest it. And he told me, the person that wrote me told me, hey, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. The problem with YouTube, and this is something I've seen, is the very in-depth informational videos about something like the darkroom are not hot topics. A lot of people don't really want to know all that much about that. They're happy with just developing their film the usual way, and they're not looking for the next steps. But if you're one of those that really, really wants to push the know-how on darkroom, darkroom techniques, film developing and all that, I really recommend Timothy Hall's YouTube channel. I'm linking his website and his YouTube channel. Great guy. I really like it, and we should have more masters of their art and craft showing on YouTube. It's just really hard to convince sometimes people to do YouTube videos for everybody. So yeah, those are the news for this week. As always, thanks Catlabs for sponsoring the news. Remember, go check out his Instagram, subscribe to his Instagram and follow. And one thing also is, if you have any information like a lot of people have sent this week, you can use the email below to reach out to me so I don't have to search for all of the news. Even though I still do search for all the news, it makes my life a little easier. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next week. Bye. And also, remember, 5th anniversary of the channel. I'll be making a little video to thank everybody, give you an update of what's going on and what will be coming very soon, some way or another. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Bye.